So Diablo 4 is the topic we're talking about here today. Yes, it's a Diablo Immortal channel, but I'm excited about Diablo 4. I'm going to be playing Diablo 4, and I may even bring you videos on Diablo 4. Now, we just got an announcement that Diablo 4 should be releasing in April of 2023. That's not that far away, and I want to talk about if I really believe that this is going to happen, if this timeline is legit, and I'm going to take some of my experience from Diablo Immortal and the development time of that game, a mobile game, and put that towards my thoughts on Diablo 4. So April, that's only 5 and a little bit months away. Let's think back to when Diablo Immortal was announced. All right, so yeah, the announcement didn't go so well, but I was excited about it. Diablo coming to mobile so much that I started my channel. Now, if we look back, take a look right here. This is 3 years ago. I started this YouTube channel. 3 years ago, I went to BlizzCon. That was 2019, and I was all hyped about Diablo Immortal. But it was announced a year before that in 2018. So in 2018, the initial announcement came. Now, of course, Diablo Immortal was not very far along at that point in time, but they knew it was happening. They knew it was coming. So let's say 4 years of development, and that is the minimal amount of time. I'd say more like 5 years it took to create Diablo Immortal. Now, I don't know how long they've been creating Diablo 4, but it's definitely been longer than we've known about it, of course, because things are looking pretty good. I mean, there's a public beta that people are going to be able to get into, and it's just really a cool opportunity and a cool space to be at. And I mean, just going on the website, we've all seen the trailer. It looks amazing. We know some of the heroes of Sanctuary. What they're sharing here is the Barbarian, Druid, Necromancer, Rogue, and the Sorcerer. Some great classes that you guys are going to get to play. And some zones from Sanctuary, much of which will be shown throughout this video. In the background, of course, the Daughter of Hatred. We all love her very, very much. And yeah, all this stuff. So the point is, will it actually come out in that time? And I find it hard to believe that 6 months from now, even less, 5 months from now, everyone's going to be able to play Diablo 4 in full release. I would anticipate maybe like a open beta or something, kind of like, because when you think about Diablo Immortal, we had first, technical alpha, second, closed alpha, third, beta, then final release. All of this was in about a year and a half, or more close to 2 years time. So it's also worth noting that all the progress we've gained throughout that time. So when I played the technical alpha, all that progress was wiped. You know, you max out your character, you max out another character, all wiped. The closed alpha, you max out a character, you max out a character, all wiped. Then the beta, you max out another character, and in my case, I was like, you know what, I'm done maxing these things out and then having it wiped. So I only did one character in the beta because I knew the wipe was coming. And now I'm playing the game in full. There really is no max, we know this, but you get what I'm saying here. We were going through these stages, and after a while, I played through the campaign of the game at least 5 times before the game actually came out in full. So for me right now, I've played through it my 6th time because I'm on my main account in the game, and I have no desire to play a second, an alternate, because really I've played through it so many times already, I just don't want to play anymore. Now the question is, how much of this will we see with Diablo 4? Because I mean, already with Diablo 4, they were talking about a beta that's going to be open to public, which is going to be great. I love allowing the community to come in, to be able to participate in this type of thing, and to be part of the development, giving feedback, talking about it, building hype for the game. But when we were looking at technical alpha, closed alpha, beta, there was a good like 4, 5, 6 months in between each of those stages. Now, something that we don't talk about much here. I may have mentioned it in the past, but I feel that the successful elements of Diablo Immortal are going to be used in Diablo 4. Now, if we go back to the website here, let me find this. There are 2 different ways to play. You have strongholds, you have PvP. So essentially you're gonna have your PvE elements of the game, what everyone knows from Diablo 3. It's a PvE game, that's what everyone knows and loves, right? but now there's going to be PvP inside of Diablo Immortal as well, different zones where you could battle things out, and who knows how deep this is going to get. Are they going to have a battlegrounds like we have in Diablo Immortal? And to be honest, in Diablo Immortal, I think they're just starting. I think there's going to be so much branching out that comes from it, and I honestly think that Diablo Immortal was a starting ground and a testing ground for things for Diablo 4. Things that people hate inside of Diablo Immortal, maybe they won't bring them to Diablo 4. People that things really love about Diablo Immortal, well, yes, I think we can anticipate them being inside of Diablo 4. Why wouldn't they take something that's successfully working and still fairly new into the game? Why? I don't know. I feel like it's definitely going to happen. We just took a look through a couple of different characters inside of the game, which are definitely exciting. I'm really looking forward to the Rogue and to the Druid, to be honest, because I've never really played those classes coming from primarily the Diablo Immortal scene. But do I see this coming? Now, Blizzard had promised Diablo Immortal would release before it released. It was like in, what would they say, in the end of 2021 or something like that. It was like we were anticipating December 2021. It didn't come out until June 2022, 6 months delayed. That was after the 3 different rounds of testing. Now, I'm not faulting them for this. Now, COVID came, that slowed things down as well, but I mean, you kind of feel like COVID excuse you can't use, but I mean, it definitely did slow down the process of Diablo Immortal by a little bit until everyone understood the whole work at home mechanic. But they said it would be coming out 6 months earlier than when it did. They held it back because the game wasn't ready. I can respect that. I would rather a game be held back if it weren't ready than be pushed out prematurely with a bunch of bugs. Now, with that being said, I felt like it didn't have much wrong with it before they put it out, but they felt that it did, and they have a really high standard quality of all that stuff on their games. Some people would debate that. Some people think that Diablo Immortal is trash. I personally love the game and dislike some elements of the game. It is what it is. The question is, will it be coming out in April? I find it hard to believe. Now, can I say with any certainty that no, it won't? No, I can't do that. Will it come out earlier than that? No, I can almost certainly say that. They're not going to have it come out earlier. That would just be silly. But, I mean, it just seems like such a short amount of time for how big of a game they're actually creating. Is the game bigger than Diablo Immortal? You would think so, being that it's built on PC, but at the end of the day, Diablo Immortal is a massive open world game. Now, it's not MMO open world, you know, like World of Warcraft, but we are playing an open world game with interactions between people in the same realms. So that's something that's a lot bigger than even Diablo 3 was. Diablo Immortal is a much bigger game than Diablo 3. So we're just going to be building off of that size when we're looking at Diablo 4. So I would anticipate that we don't actually see the game in April when they're predicting. They've proven that there's no reason why they wouldn't postpone something if it weren't ready, and I find it hard to believe that it would be ready. Now, is it possible that Diablo 4 is a larger team working on it? I would say it's more than possible. It's almost guaranteed. I don't know the size of the team on both sides of everything, but I would assume that Diablo 4 is a bigger team than Diablo Immortal. I feel like Diablo Immortal may have been a bit more of a less mainstream. With that being said, they've pulled in $300 million in their first, 5 months of release? Now, we could have another whole discussion here about monetization. Which game will make more money? In a 5-year span, will Diablo Immortal make more money, or will Diablo 4 make more money? That could be the topic of an upcoming video. All being said, I don't think the game is going to be out in the first 4 months of 2023. I think it will be postponed. Again, just my opinion. Let me know yours down below. Make sure you subscribe and ring the bell if you like Diablo content, and be good.